morning, guys. Today is the last day of the kids' co-op classical conversations class, and they have a thing they do at the last day. It's called Faces of History, where they dress up like a historical figure and talk about things that were happening at that time period. So I have a few errands to run, and then I'm going to meet up with them at the school. I'm hoping to record some of it. I might record all the kids, but I'm definitely going to record our kids and hopefully put it online here so you guys can see it.
I'm going to recognize a few kids. These children are just in foundations, and then after the presentation for Faces of History, we will recognize more children, and those kids are from the Essentials class. Automatic door lock mechanism. Can everybody say, Miss Liz, are you there?
Miss Liz, are you there?
Oh, goodness.
Whoa! I have been traveling for 47 hours. It turns out, when you go back in time to find people in history, you don't have there's no cell phones. There's no internet. You don't even have a phone book to figure out where they lived. But I traveled for thousands of years, and I stopped at all different locations in all different times, and I found 11 people who are willing to come all the way to 2022 and tell you about their lives. It's kind of like the grand finale for our homeschool year. Do you guys want to meet them? Yeah, okay. Now they might be a little shy, so when they come in, make sure you give them applause, okay? All right, time travelers, are you ready? Hey, come on.
Hey, Curly.
They're just going to take turns telling you all about their lives.
Black, hot, cream, sugar, a hot cup of joe. That is the classic way for people to start their day. No matter how you delight in your morning cup, have you ever pondered the development in which you were able to brew a pot for the day?
Before ending up in politics, I was born October 27, 1858, in New York City. Into a wealthy family, I was the second of the 4 children, but known as the sickly one.
I was born to a Roman army officer and was a distinguished soldier before I became one of the most popular emperors of Rome. To lead an empire as powerful as Rome, one needed to be frightfully strong. I changed worship in the empire to allow citizens to worship freely.
Have you ever seen God face to face? I bet you haven't, but I have, and I live to tell the story. My story may seem unbelievable to you, especially when my mother put me in a river with crocodiles. I was given rocks with rules for nation on them, and when God himself called me to meet him on a mountain. However, when God is in your story, anything is possible.
Have you ever wondered what it might be like to be a queen? I bet you think it is all royal parties and fancy dresses, but sometimes being a queen can be dangerous. I wasn't born into a royal family. The king selected me after the queen disobeyed his order. I also had to do something terrifying to help my people, the Jews.
My story shows how perseverance and hard work always pays off. On February 7th, 1867, my mom and pa welcomed me into this world, as well as naming me after my pa's mother. I was unaware of the adventures in my life awaiting me. However, I did not have to wait long for them to our firstborn, a girl we named Rose. Shooting guns brought me great joy and even helped feed my family. Learning how to shoot guns at a young age helped me to become one of the most famous American women in history. Although I had a hard childhood, once I was a teenager, things started to turn around for me.
What is that refreshing smell wafting in the kitchen after coming inside from playing in the summer sun? 3 words for you. Chocolate chip cookies. You see, I was the inventor of those gooey yet firm crunchy household delights. Well, not quite ancient history. I was born over a century ago, in 1903.
Can you imagine having a king as a father who was so famous even Shakespeare wrote about him? I too was famous for being the first queen of England, well, except for my agitating cousin's short 2-week rule, but who counts that? As amazing as that was, I was probably more famous for my bloodthirsty religious reign.
From childhood, I fancied candy, and it became my whole existence. Although I was not very educated, I became one of the best candy makers in the world. While it took many attempts and much perseverance, I finally succeeded along the way and made a ton of money.
Since it has pleased the province to place me in this station, I shall do my utmost to fulfill my duty towards my country. I am very young, and perhaps in many, though not in all things inexperienced. But I am sure that very few have more real goodwill and more real desire to do what is fit and right than I have. I wrote this in my journal on June 20th, 1837.
If you guys aren't familiar with the Classical Conversations program, one of the programs that we offer is called Essentials, and it's for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and it is all about English grammar, writing, and we also do some mental math exercises. And so sort of the culmination of their year worth of learning, as they're learning how to write different kinds of papers and how to add in interesting dress-ups and decorations and make their writing look more polished, is for them to do a research project on a person in history, and that's the Faces of History project. So that's what these students just did. They spent weeks researching their person and writing their papers and editing their papers, and then they all bravely presented. So can we give them another round of applause? No, we got Sadness over here. She will be leaving our morning and afternoon program and going to Challenge next fall. We have a challenge accepted, and so she's graduating. We just wanted to give her a little special.
So again, these students subject mastered. Congratulations. So again, these students all memorized 24 weeks of one or more subjects. We had one person who mastered all the subjects, and so he is a memory master.
Now, on behalf of everybody at Classical Conversations, we want to recognize Jen Muncie. She's been our fearless director for 2 years, and she's done an excellent job growing our community and leading us. Life is getting complicated and busy, and so she's going to be stepping down from the director role, and she will not be doing that next year, but we wanted to make sure we sent her off with all the love and appreciation that we have as a community. So we got her a few things. Jen, flowers. Of course, you got to have some chocolate. Good chocolate. Thank you.